Good morning. It's like not actually early, but
It feels early. Plus, in Chicago today, it's snowing. I mean, at least I
I
don't. Is it by you
know.
too?
Yeah, I had no idea. My mom texted me and she was like, "There's snow outside," and I was like, "I am not
Yeah, I'm not
ready."
ready.
Oh, good morning, Miss So.
Morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the kind of morning it is. This is a
Yes.
very large. It is like half the size of my head. Made like a
I
latte.
I feel that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited for today's show. So for Candace and I, this will kind of be like the regular show breakdown. Last week we did like our Christmas hauls and collecting goals, but this week we're kind of going to do like what you should expect for most of our episodes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll be doing first is Geeky Gossip, which is so fun. Basically, that's just Candace and I being able to chat about any of the like nerdy, geeky things that we got excited about, whether that be like recent news or maybe new to us news.
Yeah, because we're learning about things every day. Also,
Yeah.
Also, shout out to my copywriter friend Jean for coming up with the name of that segment. We're obsessed.
Yeah, we were stuck. We were like sitting there like, what do we call this? We have no idea. And then Candace texted me. She was like, Geeky Gossip. I was like, yes.
We're like, yes.
Good morning. And so I'm excited for that segment. And then in an effort, because I believe this was in our goals for 2023 for both of us, we want to read more of our collection. And so instead of focusing on recent pickups, we're going to focus on back issues in our collection. Though I have to say I cheated a little bit. 2 of my issues, they're not like, I don't think the most recent week of comics, but I got them like maybe like 2 weeks ago. So
it's still a
not,
back issue.
It's not like super the 2 of them, but that's just because I was so excited.
It's a 2-week back issue.
Right. Well, what's hilarious is I haven't really been to a comic shop and I haven't been doing like a pull list or anything like that.
Yeah.
But of course I went to Challengers and I was like, oh, I want these. I was really excited about 2 comics. So those are my back issues. And then as anyone saw from the little card or thumbnail, Trial of Magneto, finally catching up with my XMen.
Yes.
I'm like ages behind. All right, well, let's jump into it. So we first have our Geeky Gossip. Also, shout out to Candace for making all of our beautiful marketing assets and little thumbnails, and she designed all of this, and I love it so much.
It was so fun to work on.
Fun fact, we also had a sleepover this weekend. She slept over on Friday. And we just basically did YouTube things for her.
Yeah, but it was productive. We got stuff done.
Oh, and then we watched the worst documentaries known to man.
Yeah.
What was the one that we just really quickly? What was the one that we watched that we had to turn off? It was so bad. Nintendo Quest.
Yeah. What was it on? Like, it was on Tubi.
Yeah. 0 out of 10 recommend.
Yeah.
Whoever filmed that just like couldn't hold the camera straight. It was giving me motion sickness.
Yeah, at least it gave us some laughs.
Oh yeah, Candace like nearly choked to death in my bed because she was laughing so hard. So.
Yeah, I mean it's between both the documentaries that we watched, to be honest.
That's fair. All right, well,
yay!
We are diving into Disney 100. This is actually Candace's pick, so I will let you take it away.
Yeah, so as I probably mentioned last week, one of the things that I'm really excited about for the year is Disney 100, which is, you know, the 100-year celebration of Disney in general, like as a company. As you could see, I'm a major Disney fan. So I was really excited about this. And I think I actually found out about it like maybe around the holidays, but I think it was actually released, like started getting leaked around like maybe the fall. But basically, Disney does a lot of work with Marvel in general with their comics. And of course, like, as you know, like, obviously Marvel is part of the Disney company now. So now they can actually do that. But Yeah, so they did a collaboration with all of the like Marvel covers, but the variants are Disney inspired.
And
So
like homaging like really famous
yes, like
iconic
popular
covers.
and well-known covers in Marvel. So I was really excited about this. This is the first 3 that were released. Not all of them have actually been. Some of them are in pre-order right now, but I believe the first Avengers issue. Right. The first Avengers issue, I believe that actually came out maybe about 2 weeks ago. I pre-ordered it, so I don't actually have a copy yet. But these other 2 will be coming. I think each one will be coming out each month from what I gather. So I believe that, the Hulk should be in February, and then Fantastic Four will be the month after. But yeah, I guess like what are your first impressions of these the covers? And be honest, it's okay.
Well, so I think something that I'm learning about myself is that I really like Disney, but I am like a true Disney princess lady.
Yeah.
So, Mickey, Goofy, minus the Goofy movie. I really, really love the Goofy movie. My dad and I used to watch it. Oh, thanks. Yeah, these covers are I think these covers are so fun. Oh, thanks, Pedro. I just don't know that I would pick them up just because I'm not incredibly interested in like the Mickey Minnie kind of aspect. I do like the Incredible Hulk. In the next slide, we have the next 3 that are releasing, and I think there's one that I will end up picking up.
Yeah.
But I think they're really cool, and I don't think I'll be grabbing them, but I can't wait to see them when I come over to your house.
Yeah, they will be on display, trust me. I think probably my favorite out of those 3 would be the Hulk one for sure.
Yeah, because I love Goofy so much.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And
if you want to, you can probably go to the next one. So these ones I just saw recently that they were starting to leak these ones, which is really exciting. Not 100% sure, the release dates of these 3, but they will probably be within. I'm sure all 6 of these will be the first half of the year, which is exciting. But yeah, I think my favorite is the Infinity Gauntlet one.
I'm getting that one. That's the one that, like, if I'm buying any of these 6, I'm getting the Infinity Gauntlet.
I mean, I think I like maybe the one on the end. Like, I feel like, I don't know, I forget like similar vibes of the second and the third. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm hoping that maybe the remainder of the year they'll change it up a little bit more. Like, maybe we'll see even like Minnie Mouse in the front, or like more of the like Marvel, female superheroes being shown too. I feel like that'd be really cool. Like, can you imagine if there's like a Scarlet Witch one?
I need that.
I really hope
good
for
point
something like that.
I think that's a really good point that like they're homaging like really classic, for a good reason, Marvel covers, but then a lot of them are like the kind of like male Disney like characters, and also a lot of like the male characters from like the Avengers or Iron Man or Thanos. So I think it would be really cool to get like Minnie in the Scarlet Witch, or Minnie in something else. So I think that would be really cute. I feel like I would be more into that, and definitely all of the nostalgia for everyone. I feel like on these covers.
Yeah, I feel that too.
But Empire Comics, I agree. I think that's the one that I'm out of all of them, because I'm trying to not be swayed by the FOMO. So that will be the one that I get.
Nice.
Good morning.
And also, from what I can tell, I think a lot of these are easily accessible. From what I can, like, I don't know about these 3, but I'm pretty sure you can get all of them for like $3.99, like a regular cover price. I don't think they were making it like
they're not exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. They're variants, but they're not exclusive.
Yeah. All right. So for our next news that Candace pulled, we have the new
Super Nintendo World.
There you go.
In Hollywood. So, oh my God, I'm so pumped about this. Yeah, so in general, I'm a massive video games, Super Mario fan. So I heard like maybe, I don't know, I think a couple years ago, this theme park came out in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were talking about, oh, we're eventually going to bring it to the States. We're going to have one in Hollywood. And then they're also going to have one in Florida through the new Epic Universe theme park, which I think will be maybe in 2025 from what I've been hearing.
Oh, wow.
But this one is currently in a soft open. I think it all opened like for
the 17th. I'm pretty sure.
That's the one that's going to be to the general public. Will be in February 17th. But it's currently in soft open for. I've seen like a lot of YouTubers like that cover like theme parks doing it. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, so I think so right now like you could definitely check a lot of content on YouTube that like showing the park and everything, which I highly recommend because pictures do not do it justice, but it's super cool. So no, pardon my pun. So the first one is once you enter the land, you're greeted with the sign and a pipe. And the first pipes in the beginning are like for photo ops, but then you actually can go through that pipe. And from what I've seen, like there's like lights that flash and the music and everything. It's so you're going up the warp pipe to enter, which is really fun. And then once you get to the end of the pipe, you're going to see that image on the right, which is a whole overview of the land. This park is a little bit smaller than Japan, and I think the Epic Universe one in Florida will be bigger because they have more space. But yeah, you'll walk in and see. It's just like a video game. Like I've been seeing so much footage and I've been nerding out over it so hard. Like it's so cool. Yeah. So
I want to go. So I want to go so bad. Empire Comics and Misso. Like the little kid in me was like, I need to be there.
It's really cool. Yeah. So a lot of it is they have just like some fun like buildings that don't necessarily have attractions, but one of the key things that you can do besides rides and restaurants and shopping is if any of you are familiar with how Disney does like magic bands to get you into like for rides and things like that, Super Nintendo World is going to have one that theirs is called Power Up Bands, which is very cute. And you can get different, I think 5 or 6 different characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Daisy, and Yoshi, and you'll put these like slap bands on, and it's interactive, and you basically get to play like an app game where you can like hit like the blocks, and then there'll be like a sound effect and things like that, and you can get points, and there's like little interactive games or things that move because you interacted with it, so that's really cool. But I think you can move on to the next slide.
Oh, the Comic Chef. That is really great that your wife booked it. So definitely better than a Grail. I mean, just experiences in general, I think are often better than a material item, but you'll have those memories for forever.
Exactly. Yeah, and you definitely could reserve now too to like get your time slots, because right now I think they're just doing time slots.
Candace, my thought was like, how far is San Francisco from this?
Right?
Can we do an extended trip?
No, it's far. It's far. Yeah, we can go to the next one. So here's just like a couple of the things that are inside the park. So for the California one, there's currently, I believe it's just one main attraction, because I think the bigger parks will have more. But it's really cool. It's a Mario Kart ride. Official name is Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, and it's part track, part VR. So there's these little like headsets, like 2-piece headsets that it goes over. And by the way, it'll be good for people that actually have glasses, because I was worried about it like not being able to see correctly. But they thought of everything. So it like goes over, and then you get to sit in an actual cart, and you'll see like all of the characters on the screen while you're driving, and you get to like hit other players and things like that. It's super interactive.
That's really cool.
It's like kind of simulator related apparently. So if you have motion sickness like I do, just be aware of that. But it does look really fun. And the queue line for it to like while you're waiting to get in is really cool too.
Isn't it like through Bowser's Castle almost?
Yes, it's the inside of Bowser's Castle, and there's like all these Easter eggs for Mario Kart. If you're a major fan, like you're gonna love that. And then on the left is one of their main restaurant, which is called Toadstool Cafe. And no, they don't only sell like mushrooms and things like that.
That's what I was worried about. Because I had seen some of the menu items in Japan when I'd watched some of the videos with you, and a lot of them like had mushrooms in it, and I was like, I can't eat any of
Yeah,
this.
their menu is a little different. They do carry over a lot of things from Japan, which is great as far as just like they have really cute like desserts and ways that they plate things. But I saw like burgers, salads, like, and just everything is plated like super cute. But yeah, and then there's like interactive, or not necessarily interactive, but there's like screens that show like the game, and there's like a whole little story, and Toad is the chef of this place, so it's like a whole like the little like screens that you could watch. It's really cute. Yeah.
Candace, yes. Yes, we need a road trip.
Yes. But yeah, that's just like some of the things. Besides that, there'll be like walk around characters, which is really cool, that actually talk, which is like, and not
That's
like
cute.
actual people. It's like I don't know how it works exactly.
Oh, is it animatronic?
No, it's an actual costume character, but then they go around and like, I don't know the technical stuff behind it. It's kind of like if anyone's familiar with the Mickey Mouse that used to talk, where I don't know if they have selected things that they can say, but it's a lot of things like you actually hear like audio coming from the character, which is really cool. To be like, oh yeah, let's take a picture or something like that. It's really cute. So you actually get to hear like Mario's voice and stuff, which is fun.
Oh, I love that. That is a really good time. I'm really excited about this. I'm glad that they're opening, just because I had seen all of the videos in Japan, which Candace showed me one day on YouTube. I was like, okay, I guess I just have to travel to Japan. And now I just have to get my butt to the West Coast, which, is not as expensive as a flight.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. It looks really cool. And I highly recommend that everyone look it up on YouTube or the Universal Studios website, because for just more info and more videos and stuff.
And like Candace said, that they're doing a soft opening. So there's definitely going to be YouTubers who are able to have access to the grounds and like show you through everything there and give you a more comprehensive overlook.
And for one more time, it's February 17th of this year that'll be opening to the general public. So
start planning your trips, guys.
Yeah, start reserving now.
Okay, so for my Geeky News, if you have not seen, I did an unboxing of the Spider-Gwen Hot Toys. It was my first Hot Toys. It was amazing. That entire experience was so fun. And so I was going through Sideshow, like their website yesterday, and I discovered that they made a bunch of Hot Toys for Loki, but they aren't releasing until this year. So they're still kind of new. Even though the show came out a while ago. But I loved this. I kind of want this for my birthday. It has the TVA agent Loki that also comes with Miss Minutes, and I'm going to hop onto the next slide, and it comes with a little computer.
So cute.
So this is a 1/6 scale figure, so it's the same size as Spider-Gwen, so it's pretty big.
That's pretty good, yeah.
So back in this other side, there's a background. His background is like the little screens that they walk through, where they kind of like open the portals, which I thought was really cute and really fun. I love this so much. I want this kind of solely for her, a little bit for Loki.
Yeah, to be honest.
They also did a whole series of other characters, so I thought this was really fun. President Loki, he comes with the alligator. I think the thing I love about the Hot Toys so much is that you get all of these accessories with it, and they're so well designed. Like, this actually looks like Tom Hiddleston. I think something that trips me up about other action figures or toys is the likeness isn't often really great, and that makes sense because they're just cheaper toys. But what that means is that I want to buy the most expensive toy.
I also always like about these figures of how like posable they are. Like, they're really articulated, and then they always come with like other hands and stuff you can position, like as he has it to his head. Like, that's so fun.
Honestly, if the TVA agent Loki didn't come with like the whole Miss Minutes, like the computer, I don't think I would want it as much as, like, I really liked President Loki. It was the first one that I stumbled on. And the backdrop is actually, it has like the Loki lettering from the show. And I thought that's really cool because that felt so iconic. And then last but not least, they also had Sylvie. They also had the classic Loki. I just didn't think to add this to the slide, but Sylvie I thought was really cool. Though I felt like she came with, I don't know, not as exciting items. And she just has a very angry face on. Which I get it, like she's very serious in this show, but also I want like either another head sculpt for her where she's like just doesn't look so like intense or like angry.
It doesn't come with other heads?
No, I don't think any of them do, which makes sense a little bit for President Loki and TVA Agent Loki because they have so many, like they come with Alligator Loki or they come with Miss Minutes. But I feel like for Sylvie, it's like, okay, you got her swords, you got the little like TVA Agent phone, but there really isn't much, you know, her outfit. Like she has that cloak, but I don't know. I felt like she was the most unimpressive of them. Yes, I am dropping down the rabbit hole with these Hot Toys, but I'm trying. What's good is that they're so expensive. So as much as I'm going down the rabbit hole, I cannot afford to be dropping like $300.
That's what stops you for sure.
The Alligator Loki is so cute.
It's adorable. I know the little pieces really make it.
Yeah. So we'll see. My birthday's coming up in April. I've already talked to my dad. And I was like, hey, Dad, look at this Loki. Yeah. What do you think? So we'll see. The other piece of news that I grabbed, I don't necessarily know it's news, but I wanted to talk about it because, again, new to me, is the Nintendo Switch game It Takes Two. So this past week, my boyfriend was like, I bought a game for us to play because he's been playing Cult of Lamb, which, by the way, if anyone has a Switch and has not played Cult of Lamb, highly recommend. I, for the most part, have only really watched him play. I've tried it out once, but it's so freaking cute. You're like this little lamb that has to defeat demons and build a cult.
Oh my God.
And like,
I need to look into that. That sounds funny.
You would really like it because you build your cult, but then you have to take care of your cult. Like you have to do like farming and you have to clean them and you have to feed them. And sometimes you sacrifice them and then feed the person you sacrifice to the cult. But they're all like little animals. They're like, it's like a, you know, alligator dude or a cat. And then there's the music to it is really great. And I always laugh because I'm like walking around the house and the, in some of the scenes, the lamb that is the cult leader, he just like bounces back and forth, like listening to like music. It's so cute. Highly recommend.
That gives me like Animal Castle vibes. It does it?
Yeah, I feel like you would like it, except like horror. But it's like not, it's like the way that it's designed, it's not like grotesque or gruesome or anything like that. It's it's animated, it's very cute, and you're kind of like, I am finding this cult adorable.
Yeah, who knew? That's so cool.
Yes, very cute and deadly. Like it's amazing. But so It Takes Two is a very different kind of game. It's a 2-player game. You can't play solo. And the reason being, and it has a very emotional storyline. As you can see, it's won, Game of the Year, Best Design, or it was either like won or was nominated for these awards. And this is not a spoiler because this is a intro storyline. You see these two parents who are fighting, and then as they are fighting, they say that they're going to separate and get a divorce. And you see the daughter in the window overhearing them. And she has created these little dolls of her parents. And you can tell at this point that they've been arguing a lot. And so she has these dolls to kind of act out them getting along together. And when they start arguing again, she kind of runs into another room and goes under a table. And there's this book of love that she bought from, like, I don't know how she got it, from like some bookstore or library or whatever the case may be. And, she's a child and just wishes that her parents would get along and stay together. It is very emotional.
I feel like I'm going to cry right now. And that sounds so sad.
Yeah. So then it cuts and kind of like magic happens, and the parents their like essence and souls are put into the dolls. And so then you and whoever you partner with for the game have to play one of the parents. You get to pick who you want to be. So I picked the mom and my boyfriend had picked the dad, and you basically go through all of these obstacles, and each obstacle is like you guys leaning on each other to make it out. Like you can't make it out without the other. So that's the idea of It Takes Two. And there's this like magic love book that talks and is like, you know, trying to teach you guys the, you know, ways of collaboration and compassion. And also the storyline, there's like a moment where there's a talking vacuum and the vacuum is like, you've left me here to rot. I've been broken forever. And then the mom's like, I told you, like you're the one who broke it. Like she blames the dad. And then the dad's like, well, you're the one who said that you would fix it. And so it, you know, you get to kind of see those insights of this relationship that, you know, has a lot of resentment in it. And they're able to kind of work through that in some ways through trying to, you know, kill the evil vacuum that's trying to attack them now. So it's like very fantastical, but really, really fun. If you like puzzle games and, you know, something kind of like, if you enjoy Mario games where you have to go through like different levels and, you know, like jump from places to place, it's really, really fun. And so I'm not super far in it, but I heard it gets a lot more emotional. And so I highly recommend it. I'm curious. I feel like it'll probably make me cry at some point as a child of divorce.
I want to cry now.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to see what happens, you know, even though the idea is like it takes two. I'm wondering if the way that it ends is that the parents actually like come back together and like love each other, or, you know, maybe they're just like cordial and just know that they're not meant to be. Like, I feel like there's ways that this could end. Like, I don't know that it needs to end in the kind of cliche, like, oh, they actually realize that they love each other and they're going to stay together. Because I feel like this has so many notes of reality that I could see them taking it in different directions. So,
yeah, that sounds really interesting. I want to look into that too.
I think you would like it. You and Carlos should definitely try playing it. Yeah, this is a very deep game. Highly recommend. Oh, good morning. Happy Sunday.
Morning.
He bought 50 alligator Loki entities. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Wow.
Oh, East Bay. Good morning.
Morning.
So yeah, those are our Geeky Gossip tidbits. We're also going to then jump into our Comic Besties back issues.
Yes.
So we're going to chat a little bit about some of the things that we've read, and it's not necessarily meant to be new comics at all, but I have
definitely not
that I ended up picking up because I really wanted to read them. But I feel good. Again, I haven't been to a comic shop in a while. So I went with, actually, it was a member of the community, Conan Librarian. Blake and I went to some comic shops together, and it was super fun. We hit like Challengers, and we hit Dark Tower comics.
So good. That's good shops to go
and I haven't done that in so long. So it was a good time.
Fun.
All right. Well, do you want to start us off with what you read?
Yeah. Do you want to alternate, or do you want to just do like our whole
Let's alternate. You do one, I'll do one.
Okay. We'll start with, well, we're going to keep going with Disney of the theme of today. This will not be the first time you see Disney comics from me, of course. So the first thing I read, because I have a lot of Disney back issues, is Disney Comic Hits.
Love that it's Pocahontas.
Yeah. So this one was one that came out in 1995.
My birth year.
Yeah. I think I was like 2. 2. Yeah, but these are actually really fun. I've been slowly trying to collect this series. Let me see if it's clear. Okay. Yeah. That they're called Disney Comic Hits, and some of them are specific to one movie, or some of them might be kind of like a compilation of different movies. But this one is actually the first issue of this series, which is really fun. And Pocahontas, I think, came out around that time, maybe. Yeah, it must have been exactly when that came out. But it's really fun. Oh, thank you. Just the story itself is just very like a typical Disney kind of story. I think this one, it actually continues after the first movie.
Yeah, it's when I was flipping through it when you brought it to the house, wasn't it that like John Smith had already left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like right after, and it's about that, and then some things that happen in Pocahontas' tribe, it was just as fun. But what I really liked about it, because you know how I was talking about how Marvel, even before they were like really partnered with Marvel as they are now, they do comics with Marvel. So there was so many ads throughout this whole thing, which
oh my god.
I'm gonna call that out.
I already know what's coming.
This is what I have to talk about. Okay, so there was this poster.
It's a fraud. They don't work.
So I don't know if anybody remembers Magic Eye. I don't think Haley does.
No, I don't. Because there's nothing there.
But there's these books that you would be like optical illusions that you would like either cross your eyes or like stare at it intently, and you would see like photos. You're clearly not gonna be able to see it here, but this was like was it centerfold poster, and what was funny was I had Haley try to do it. And what happened?
They don't work. They don't. I could not
She
see
says
anything.
it doesn't work. Although apparently we learned that it like depending on the type of eye, like what your vision is and things, it might also affect if you can see them. But
yeah, I thought it was an astigmatism, and so because I need you guys to know I was getting really upset about this because Candace was like, "Oh yeah, don't you see this image?" And I was like, "I feel like you're like punking me right now.
She's like, you're making this up." I'm like,
there is no image, and she's like, "There's an image." I'm like, "There's no image." So then she proceeded to then Google Magic Eye images, and she was like, "Well, don't you see the ship in this image, and it's like just like wavy."
Yeah, I'm showing. Here's the sails. Here's the bottom of the boat. And she's like, I don't see anything.
I'm like putting my glasses on, taking my glasses off, putting them on. I was like,
it was funny, but yeah, that was just one of the things. They also had like ads that were like for like fruit roll-ups and things, and like I don't know. Even the back is like Twizzlers. Like honestly, that's why I love looking through like comics, especially in the '90s, is just for that alone. Like recently, like at a brand new or like at a used bookstore or something. Because yeah, I remember they're super nostalgic to me because I remember them in like grade school. But yeah, so that was just like my first thing. It's really fun just for nostalgia alone of like going through like those, especially like sometimes you find like the movies that came out in that time and things like that. But
I'm gonna buy you a Magic Eye book.
I wouldn't be mad. There's a Disney one apparently. I saw. I don't know. Like if it's.
I'm so bothered by this that I can't see any of the images. I was.
Oh wait, you could go. I forgot that we were gonna. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the sea monkeys. Okay, those ads I do remember.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sea monkeys.
So, I feel like I'll do one of these last. So. The like back issue, but kind of like new comic I read was Black Cloak. This is written by Kelly Thompson. I love this cover. It was done by Tula Lote, which is one of my favorite artists. She did the Department of Truth cover print that I have on my wall. Oh. This is like sci-fi fantasy. Like the world kind of was not ending, but there was like a great war, and now there's like it meant to be a utopia or everything should be fine. But I think I'm getting a little feedback. Are you getting that, Candace, feedback from?
I don't know.
Does oh, okay. I'm not sure what's happening. Let me know if you guys can hear, because I can hear myself double. It's just shocking.
No, I don't hear that. I think you're good.
But sorry, I could like hear it. What's happening? Here, wait, I'm gonna see. Okay. I think I'm getting the feedback from your thing. Do you want me to oh, you guys, I sound okay? Okay. That is just my headphones and whatever. Anyways, so this is fantasy. The world, they went through like this great war. It's meant to be kind of like utopian, but actually the like first page says it's like everything's kind of gone to crap and there's a bunch of murders. This is definitely like filling a hole for me. So I read this series, A Court of Thorns and Roses, which has fantasy, fae, world building. And what's really fun is that that's exactly what's in this. It's like the fae. And there's royalty and there's mermaids. I really like the art. It's really beautiful. It's kind of simplistic. You have all of these different characters. I feel like the world building is like slow, like you're kind of just like, it opens up as you continue through the series. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. There's also a murder that happens, and there's these two detectives that have to go and figure out what happened. And you can tell that there's a lot of like political ramifications and like hierarchies that haven't been told to you just yet. They're doing a lot of showing rather than telling, which I appreciate. And I'm excited to continue reading this because I feel like this was like the fantasy comic that I was like hoping for and wanting, especially after reading Court of Thorns and Roses and that whole series. Very different. I will say, like, as much as I say that if the vibe is hitting for me, that's like a fantasy romance situation, and this is not.
That sounds really good though. It how long of a series is it?
This was the first issue that came out.
But like in general,
oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, that does too. That's awesome.
So yeah, highly recommend this one. I mean, Kelly Thompson is really great, and if you like fantasy, definitely recommend, because I think that is the biggest thing. I find a lot of sci-fi comics, but I prefer fantasy over sci-fi. Same. I know a lot of people recommend Saga, and I've read Saga. But that also, it's like that's a good mixture of sci-fi fantasy. But for whatever reason, it's just like never been my favorite. So I'm always looking for more fantasy. All right, what was the next comic you read?
Okay, so this is the opposite of Disney. It's very dark. I have a very interesting range of comics, but this is Batman Aliens.
I love that you love aliens so much. Guys, I did not know this about Candace, especially because she's not like a horror, and not that I guess aliens would be considered horror.
No, but it is. It's like sci-fi horror. So like we were just saying, like I'm not the most massive like sci-fi. I have like very specific things like Star Wars things, but like within the last couple of years, I watched the whole like Alien series with my boyfriend because he loved them, and I wanted to get I was surprised how much I got into them. So
I'm surprised about how much you got into them. She like pulled it out at my house. I was like, interesting choice.
Well, this I found at one of the like a toy show, the King County one, but like a different time, not the one time we went. But okay, so you say I like crossovers with different series. That's always really fun. But you think Batman, Batman and Alien, does that make sense? It totally does. Because it's, if you think about it, it's both like extremely dark type of vibes we're getting, and it actually the way that they merged it makes a lot of sense. Where from what I can remember, because this isn't the first of like many issues that I'm gonna have to get the rest, because apparently I didn't have all of this is book one. Yeah. So I think Batman he's looking for someone from Gotham, like specifically, and wherever he is, where he meets up with this whole like crew from Alien. And I don't know, I've never read the Alien comics, like the original ones for Dark Horse, so I don't know if these are characters that are in that one as well, because it's not the ones from the movies that I'm familiar with. But yeah, maybe it is, but otherwise it's just like people that are at least from in the Alien universe, and they basically cross paths and then go hunting for the aliens together in a sense, except they just have their own things that they're looking for people and stuff. Let's see, Alien versus Predator. Nice. Yeah, apparently there's a Archie versus Predator one.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I think it was defeated in John's comics with Kids and JP Budget Collecting. They do those God, why can't I think of
it was Sharknado. That was the Sharknado one.
But I think in that episode, did they not pull out the Archie and aliens? Or
I don't know. I remember that specifically, though, it was a Sharknado. They have weird crossovers. I like crossovers, weird ones like this. But yeah, I highly recommend this if you like Alien, you like Batman. It's a great merge. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Dark Horse does all the regular Alien stuff, and of course, like they collaborated with DC, which is really cool. But it has like still like the the grungy kind of look, which fits both series, I think, which is why it makes sense. So where they left it, there definitely was a cliffhanger, so I need to find the rest of these because I have ones that are from like some second series that they did with this, but it's not the second issue, so I need to find those. But I also really like this cover too. Pretty cool.
We need to hang out and then do an Alien movie watch. I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you've seen Alien, right?" And she's like, "What did you say? The Predator? What the TV show or the new movie that came out?" I'm like,
the new movie came out, but I think it was Predator. It wasn't Alien.
The first one, it's so good. It's really good.
Hey, I'm down. I'm here for it, especially because you enjoy it, and I find that to be insanely amusing.
Plus Ripley Sigourney Weaver, badass, badass woman.
So for my next one, I read. Okay, so part of my other goals was to catch up with XMen, and so I finished my my XMen omnibus, which was like the Hickman run, and then I read Hellfire Gala this past weekend, and I finally was able to start the Trial of Magneto. So I only read the first issue. I'm going to try to read the next 3 or 4 issues. I have them all here just because like the covers were so pretty. This is like one of my favorite covers in general.
That's cool.
But so, spoiler alert if anyone hasn't read this, but I feel like I might be one of the only people so behind in X-Men reading. This was really, 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 really good. I haven't read my X-Men comics in a really long time, and finishing up the Omnibus and the Hellfire Gala and then starting this really reminded me why I love it so much. The writing is just so good and nuanced, and then they're just tying so many things back to different series and runs outside of just the Hickman, which I have always really appreciated because it allows me to kind of dig into the Easter eggs and rabbit holes, and I end up learning a lot more about these characters or their stories. And in this first issue, they look into, they autopsy Wanda, and they're like, okay, what happened? Who killed her? And then eventually, as the title says, the Trial of Magneto, they think Magneto is the person to have killed her. And what I found interesting is through a lot of the run, Magneto has that gray moral character. He can be really evil and bad, but then he can have his moments because he has so much love for the mutants. And this really makes him look really bad. He just rages out at Polaris and is just so horrible to her. And you kind of everyone's feelings about him come out of just how bad he is. And so I thought that was really just an interesting lens to look at Magneto through, just because I don't feel like they fully have leaned into kind of how evil he can be or those aspects of his character throughout the initial storyline. So I thought that was really interesting. And then with Scarlet Witch and Pietro at the end of this, there was just a lot of really beautiful writing on grief, and also just kind of the complexity of Wanda as a character, Scarlet Witch as a character within this universe, of her having, the House of M and those kind of storylines, it coming up how people feel about her. They vote to just keep her dead. They're no, everyone hates her. And it just makes me so sad. And Pietro is sitting there she was just sick and no one wanted to help her. And again, there's just so much complexity within these characters, and it made me feel kind of emotional reading this. The art is really beautiful and the writing is so good. So I'm really excited to continue this, especially because I heard Inferno is really good. And it just obviously deals with, my favorite characters. So I'm excited that I'm finally catching up. And as I'm catching up, if all of the people who have read this already want to DM me and chat about it, please do, because I'm going to want to nerd out about all of the X-Men stuff.
That sounds really good.
It is, because you haven't read. You started House of X Power of X, right?
I'm so bad at that. Yeah. I still need to finish that. I mean, I'm a lot newer of a X-Men reader, so I've been doing Justin and John's like omnibus on the X-Men show and stuff, so I've been reading those. But there's like so many things I still need to dive in, but that sounds really good. I don't know if I need to read Hoxpox before. Would that help?
It's helpful. I would say just like at least reading that, and then with the Trial of Magneto, I would, and you could always borrow some of my books, like my omnibus, but I definitely feel like Hoxpox is like my favorite thing ever written, so you should just finish it for that.
I need to finish it.
But I'm really excited to get back into it. It's like lighting my fire for XMen, reading the Trial of Magneto, and finally finishing up those hardcovers that I have, because I was really slacking.
Okay, so keep going with Marvel here. Okay, it's Superman and Miss Marvel team up. So from what I'm gathering, that there's a full series of these, I think maybe like 5 or 6 issues that are different team ups. Although once I finished reading this, it looks like there's a continuation to this specific story. So I'm going to have to look into this. But what's really fun is this is actually like a double-sided issue where it's one of those like flip ones. So on one,
I think that's so cool. Those are so fun.
Yeah. So the reason for that is one side is told from Miss Marvel, and then the other side is told from Spider-Man. And then then there's like something that happens at the end. That was how they meet in the middle, basically. But that's what I want to keep reading it because I want to see what happens.
That's a really cool.
But it was really, really fun kind of story. I don't know if there's lots to go into it about it, but basically, Kamala is on a field trip, visiting like some kind of like science-related university, and then something happens, and then she ends up turning into Miss Marvel, and then Peter's also there, that he's announcing one of the guest speakers that was at this like they're watching like a presentation, and then because that same like villain like attacks, he comes out as Spider-Man, and they're like doing this whole like little team up thing, which is really fun. So I really want to keep reading it and see like what else happens. I also, like I said, I did collect the rest of these. I think I'm missing like maybe one of them. Marvel team up series that came out. Let me see when these
those are really fun. I think the Marvel team ups are such a cool side series that they end up doing, because you get to see all of these different characters come together that you either normally don't always see, or that they're able to like highlight in a fun way that doesn't necessarily have to tie in like really large like continuity storylines. Mm-hmm. Like it's just fun.
Yeah, exactly. And this one came out in 2019, but yeah. Oh, really? You definitely should read it. It's fun. Yeah, I think there's some other Miss Marvel ones too. Oh, hi.
There is. They did a whole series where it was like Venom and Miss Marvel, Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. I have those because those I was definitely pulling. I was excited about it. And to see her with characters who were really gritty and had so much darker, because Spider-Man and Miss Marvel makes a lot of sense, but
they're very similar. Yeah,
Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, that just like seems like a really weird but cool pairing.
Yeah, I agree. And like those two are like definitely on my list of like favorite Marvel characters. So that was just a really fun one to dive into. Yeah, that's that one.
So the last one that I read, so again, a little bit newer, but I could not resist because my girly Scarlet Witch, they finally gave her own solo. So obviously we know after Trial of Magneto, she lives. And does anyone ever really stay dead? But what I thought was so interesting, having read Trial of Magneto and then reading this, is that in Trial of Magneto, there's so much about just how sick Wanda was, and her recognizing all of the decisions that she made that harmed people. Right, there's a lot of baggage there, and so much of what Scarlet Witch, the first issue of this, is about seeing how she's healed and how she's trying to heal other people and to help them when they feel like they have nowhere else to go, which is something she's often felt throughout a lot of her story arcs, is that like no one understands her. There's no one there for her. And I thought it was like really such a beautiful storyline, and I think really perfect for Scarlet Witch. Like I'm really happy that that's what I'm seeing. For her, and it's written by, is it Leah Williams? Let's see. I don't actually, because it's not in the first.
Yeah, sometimes it's in the back.
Let's see. It is not. Who wrote this? I think is it Scarlet. I need to know if I'm right.
We need to know.
And all of the covers for this were really good.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
beautiful.
I am really wrong. So Steve Orlando is the writer, and the penciler is Sarah Pichelli. So the art is gorgeous. All that is to say. Let me.
Wow. Ooh.
It's really, really good. And then the way that this issue ends, the way I gasped. It was so perfect. The writing is great. The arc is where they're taking it. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening. But the way that they ended this first issue, I was like, they did not, but they did. So I highly recommend this. The art is phenomenal. I'm positive all of these covers are about to be fire. And I want to collect them all. So I'm definitely like breaking I don't need any more comics ban for this specific series.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty good one. So that was the one that was 2 weeks ago? Or
this past, because I got it 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I feel like I haven't heard much about it, and now that makes sense because it just
more people should be talking about this because it's so good. But I think it's really interesting just seeing it after reading even the first issue of Trial of Magneto and then the Scarlet Witch issue 1. You're just seeing these like two wildly different versions of Scarlet Witch and like where she's at. Well, I mean, in Trial of Magneto, she's supposedly dead, but and just the perception of her. Good morning.
Morning.
So that was the last of the books that I read. What's your?
Let's see. I know. Okay, we're gonna throw something else that's different, but to end on a really weird note. Hold on, let me just mute this for a second.
Oh, I am excited. There was a XMen theme with mine, which is I can't wait for this.
Okay, that's why I'm really excited about these back issues, and I get to pull out all the random stuff that I have in my collection because I love so many things.
I love it.
So this was one of the last thing I actually did read. This was a CSI, and the first issue in this miniseries that was for CSI. Did you guys know that this is a thing? Did you know this was a thing, Haley?
I did not until you pulled it out. So Candace had brought all of these to my house, and she was like, "Oh, by the way," and she like pulls this out. I'm like, "Only you would have the CSI comics." I really want to know like who was buying these, and now like I just know it's my best friend.
So apparently this came out a while ago too. I think it was 2006. Yep, 2006. So. Yeah, I didn't even realize it went that far back. But I guess that's when the show was like super popular too. I think they were still on the air and everything. But I watched that show a lot growing up. It's really fun. But they actually came out with a different like miniseries. There was one I read in trade like a long time ago, and then I saw this one and I collected. I think whoever I got it from, they had the whole like miniseries, and each one had like a different character on the front.
That's so cool.
But I like going into this, I actually didn't know what the actual storyline was going to be. But it's actually related to like, usually there's like two like murders that will happen in the show. So in this case, one of them was actually at a Comic-Con in Las Vegas. Because the show is in Vegas. So then they actually like Gil and Catherine went to Catherine wanted to go to Comic-Con with her daughter, and then he comes with. And then so on, it's gonna be kind of hard to see here, but I was wondering what, like, I'm still a little confused. I know that they mentioned a lot of creators on the side, which I wasn't sure if it was there that they've actually done work for it. I was trying to look through and I couldn't find. But these actually, all of these artists actually had cameos in the story, which is pretty funny. And they're actually now all going to be suspects. But yeah, basically, I think it was like during a panel, like someone actually gets murdered, so like electrocuted. So they have to figure out who did it, basically, and then there's like another storyline. But the other people that are mentioned is Ed Brubaker, Peter David, Joe Quesada, Greg Rucka, and Mark Silvestri, which a lot of these sound really familiar. I know some of them, but I thought that was pretty cool, especially because that's like probably, I mean, that's a lot of this was in 2006. So first of all, it's just kind of interesting hearing like a Comic-Con like about that back then. I didn't even start going to Comic-Cons yet around that time, so that's pretty cool. But like the art itself is like, it's okay, but it's cool because they have like even in the Comic-Con they have like, you can see there's a little bit of Marvel.
But I love that you of course picked up the one issue that was at a Comic-Con.
I think the whole series will be at a Comic-Con. Like, it's going to continue.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like it's not going to be like where it's like two, you know, two like storylines and then it ends like at each issue. Like, it's going to go through the whole thing from what I'm gathering. Okay. And I actually have all of them, so I'm going to be reading that.
You guys are going to get more CSI.
Yeah. I also like any of the shows that I watch when they actually do have like the actual like photographs from the TV show. That's just fun. But yeah, I'm gonna start reading through all my random issues.
I love it. So I will be bringing probably all the XMen, and Candace will be bringing you all of the random titles that you probably didn't even know existed.
Yeah, and then I've done my job. Absolutely. That's what I love. Like, that's when I love like picking through the short boxes, and then I'm like, not even the ones I own, like when I'm out shopping, and I'll be like, oh my god, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this was a thing. So it really is a comic for everything.
I love it so much. Your collection is one of my favorites.
Yes, I'll let you borrow it. I know she loves CSI too.
I used to watch that show. That was a lot of fun. So that is mostly it for our show today. I just want to let you guys know what to expect for the next couple of episodes. Also, if you guys have any feedback, let us know, because we're still kind of figuring out our run of show. Yeah. But just to let you know, if you are at all reading Legends and Lattes, which is our book club pick for the month, we were meant to go live next Sunday on the 29th, but Candace and I want to go to toy stores. So we are going to push that to February 5th, which is actually, no, not February 5th. I am lying to you because that is when our regular show will be. TBD.
Yes,
date TBD. To be determined. But it'll be happening within the first week of February, most likely. We've also decided that for our book club picks, we're going to do a novel, and then the next month we'll do a manga, and the month after that we're going to do like a collected comic. So we're going to be rotating through that. So, each month, if there's people who like to read novels, they can join us, but that's not something that we're going to do every month. It'll shift. So if you like mangas, next month we'll pick that. And then the month after that, we're going to dive into some comics together. So I think that'll be really cool, just because Candace and I are really into everything, as you all can see.
I was going to say,
and so that's really exciting. And yeah, that's it. Miss So thanks. We're very glad that we found each other as well. Candace, do you have anything else that you want to add?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's been really fun, like, starting to do these shows, and like, thank you everyone who's watching live or in the replay. I'm just like, that's the most like thing I'm excited about, just being able to like with the Geeky Gossip, sharing things that we're really excited about that happened, because like that's just, I mean, not only do I always have to tell Haley everything, so now I get to share it with you also. So Haley doesn't just have to hear it from me. But it's also cool because like comics are not just both of our lives. It's like we like so many other things. Like,
Yeah.
again, as you can see. So it's really cool being able to share that with all of you. And like if you guys like any of the same things, like definitely hit us up. We love to know who else we can share all this with.
Definitely.
and geek out with. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to next week. No, or not next week, the next show.
Yeah, and well, next week we'll probably be putting together.
I mean, I'm looking forward to next week, but for different reasons.
We'll probably put together some vlogs. We're gonna
Yes.
hit up either 2 or 3 toy stores.
Yes.
Which is dangerous, but very exciting.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your weekend, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us and watching.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.